Welcome to the Man United Agenda. Yes, we got a packed panel today. We are doing a preview show for Manchester United versus Everton Football Club. That's tomorrow, 12:30. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda. It's 8:30 Friday night, and we are going in. It's the preview show. Tomorrow, 12:30, game after game at the moment. We're at home to Everton, and I'm joined by a wonderful panel tonight. Welcome, Colm from FST. You said it, Colm. Let them know.
Yeah, FTSN. Just want to say thank you for having me on. I've been on here more than what I've been on my own channel.
I know. You're going to get a transfer over to us during the next transfer window?
Oh, I don't know if you can afford me. That's the issue.
You're a ringer at the moment, though. You're a ringer. You're playing for two sides. And I might report you to the referees union because Casper's in the house.
Just like Weghorst playing for two teams.
Exactly. Casper, how you doing, man? Our favourite referee.
Good.
Back again, regular on the show now. How you feeling, bro? How's your week been?
Yeah, not too a bit relaxed this week. Obviously, Easter weekend, so weekend off. But yeah. I
saw you posted you had a game somewhere. Like, was it like a big game, semi-final?
Oh no, it was a midweek game because now the Saturday league they played midweek. So
what's the standard like?
It's quite high, to be fair. It was a Division 2 game, top of the league versus I think club mid-table. But in that but next Saturday there's some games, and then the last week of April is packed for me because there's a deadline I have to do in order to get promoted from level 7 to level 6. I need to do 25 games by end of April, and I think I'm 3 or 4 short. So that's the main priority, to get everything sorted, and hopefully I'll get promoted for next season.
Good luck, man. We're full support here. And hopefully you can do some double headers to speed that up. And over to my little brother, or my little big brother. Look at the size of him. Kahinde, how you doing? How's the five-a-side league going? You set up a five-a-side league for Woodlands.
Yeah, it's up and down. I think we haven't really been that consistent, but that's mainly because we don't have a goalkeeper. If you don't have a keeper,
how important is a goalkeeper in five-a-side?
So important.
Are you prepared to pay Colm to come down from Doncaster?
I would love him to come down. I love him.
Yeah. No, but how important? I mean, you were talking about a game the other day that you should have won, but they had a good goalkeeper. What difference?
Yeah, because I just think it's so important five-a-side. Like, some of the goalkeepers, they're not even that athletic, but their positioning is so good. Like, the best keeper in the league is like a big guy, obese guy, but it takes up the whole goal. Yeah, exactly. It's just not a huge goal, but he knows how to position himself well, and that's all it is. And we don't have a player like that who's capable of going in goal and doing a really, really good job.
Okay. Well, maybe you need me to get my boots on and come down and stir it up a little bit, give you a little magic in that five-a-side league.
Andy, don't forget there's a massive game on the 7th of May as well, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I have to endorse that, guys. Don't forget. I hope you're in Kahinde. If you can make it down, Colm, we got a big game playing against COP TV. That's one of our sister channels. It's on an 11-side pitch, 45 minutes each way. We're getting old now, but it's going to be a
good... Is it a 90-minute game?
It's 45 minutes, one half we're playing.
Oh, it's 45 minutes.
It's kind of Rayners Lane Football Club. That's on the 7th. Is it the 7th of May? Coming up quite soon. So, Colm, if you can get down, you got a place in goal or wherever you want to play. We try to get a scrape 11 together. Kahinde, you're playing. Might be me and you in the back 4 maybe, and Casper in a number 10 role. Who knows? But anyway, we're here to talk about Everton and Man United. Tomorrow, as you can see by the ticket there, tomorrow 12:30 kickoff, early game, and we're back again. Availability, guys. Does anyone know anything? Colm, I've got to come to you. What do you know about availability? Because there's a lot of injuries at Manchester United at the moment. Are people coming back?
I know, obviously, Eriksen is supposed to be back now. Obviously, Martial turned up, didn't he, last game? So he looks like he's in contention. I do believe Shaw's probably out, though, which might be a bit of a blow for us, because I know he's got a bit of a hamstring issue, as far as I'm aware. So that could be a bit of a dent for us in the defensive line. But I think we've got suitable cover. You know, Malacia, I ain't got an issue with him coming in.
Okay. We talked about Kahinde there. We're talking about Casemiro. Now, he's been out for like 4 games with suspension. Is that a big miss? I mean, this is massive now. We're still in the top 4, but how much have we missed him? What sort of impact does he make?
Oh, hugely. We've missed him because he's so important. He's like the spine of the team. He's the guy that keeps everything together. He's the glue. And I think in the Newcastle game, we missed him badly, you know. It's just there's little things that he does in the game that are so important. These like little interceptions, things like that. Fine margins that just make such a big difference in the game. So I can't wait till he gets back. But we should have enough to beat Everton tomorrow.
So coming to you, Casper, Luke Shaw, as Colin was saying there, he's picked up a little injury. And at this stage of the season, you don't want to see people going down again. I mean, is that a big blow for you, or do you think Malacia is an appropriate sort of standing?
Depends how long the injury's out for. I think Malacia could do a short-term job 100%, but long-term maybe, because I think Shaw's Man United's number 1 left back at the moment. So it depends how long. I think it's a short injury. I think Man United will be fine to cover Shaw for 2 or 3 games, or however short-term injury that injury is. He'll be back by the end of the season 100%.
Guys, what do you think about, just quickly, what do you think about Malacia? He's coming in to fill in, obviously. But what kind of impact has he had this season? Is he better than you thought he'd be? All of you answer the question. What do you think about Malacia? A quick summary. Colin, start with you.
I like Malacia. Obviously, I think we're still waiting to see the best of Malacia. Still finding his feet in the Premier League. I think next season Luke Shaw really needs to watch out, because I don't think Luke Shaw will be number 1 next season.
Even though he's signed a new contract?
Even though he's signed a new contract, I think Malacia is going to surpass him next season.
So if we're talking about transfer windows, there's no issue with left-back situation. We're well covered there. Casper, what are your thoughts on Malacia? Have you seen the best of him? What are his strengths?
Well, his best is yet to come. He's still not reached his prime. Otherwise, Shaw's probably reached his prime already, or if just peaking off his prime. So Malacia is still to come. I mean, to be fair, Shaw's done a very, very good job this season, one of his better seasons. So we'll see how next season plans out to say if he's going to get surpassed or dropped or whatever. Time will tell, isn't it? Malacia was the first choice left back before the World Cup at one point. So, you've got to assess the season, how the season's going. Who would have thought that Ronaldo would have been starting on the bench after the Brentford game? So you got to just take it one game at a time.
And finally, with the team news, Zeke, with Malacia, I mean, people say Trent is better going forward than he is defending. They say Wan-Bissaka's better defending than he is going forward. What's the balance like with Malacia? How do you see him as a fullback?
I haven't seen too much of him to really make a fair assessment. Like Casper was saying, before the World Cup, he was the first choice and he was doing all right. And then he had a bad game against Man City, and then he never really got back in the team.
Yeah. So
I'm really looking forward to him having a run in the team and just really focus and see what he's all about. But he seems very quick, mobile, quick in the tackle. He looks like he's decent at going forward. I think the potential is obviously there. But things with Luke Shaw, he always responds well to competition. Yeah, and he brings out the best in him, like he did with Alex Telles. Telles is away in Spain right now. Yeah? So yeah, that's decent.
And he got a new contract out of it. Well done, Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Let's just go through a few comments. I want to say hi to Niall. I want to say hi to Niall Kane, one of our favourites, saying, good evening, lads. Good Friday. Hope you have a brilliant Easter. Thank you so much. Ed Mayhem in the house. How you doing, bro? Say good evening, everybody. Blessed Easter to everyone. 3 points tomorrow for the Reds. We hope so. I want to say hi to Brian Forsket. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. He says, come on, United. 3-0 win. He's throwing out predictions there. Want to say hi to one of my favourites, is Jackie. How you doing, Jackie? She says, good evening, panel. I love you, Jackie. Hope you're doing well. I hope you can have a lovely weekend. And big up to Mohammed. Mohammed said, get Casper in goal for this big game against TV. He said you retired. Why are you retired in goal?
No. I'm still playing goal. I'm playing tomorrow in goal, but I think if you want to achieve something, you've got to focus. You've got to put all your eggs in one basket. You've got to focus on one thing. Just go from it. It's good multitasking. Saturday you play here, Sunday, but I want to focus on one thing. So my manager, if my manager hears this, he's probably not going to be happy. But
Mohammed saying you're the best keeper about. So you got size in you as well. Mr. B saying it's in. That's for the big charity game.
Oh, Mr. B. Big up, Mr. B, man.
Yeah, Mr. B's in the house. You know that. Subsvid is saying here, evening. Or how you doing, Subsvid? Jackie's saying, oh, that sounds brilliant. Are you able to put a link up for the game of the season? 45 minutes. Yeah, it will be recorded. So we better be really sharp. Don't want to be embarrassed or get twisted up by anybody, especially from that cop TV. Especially Mr. B's brother. I hear he's really good. Ed Mayhem is saying, I'd play if you're desperate. If Ronaldo can do it at 38, I can do it at 40. Ed Mayhem, get your tickets ready. Come to Raiders Lane. You can stay at mine if you want. Anyone else interested, Man United, associated with Man United agenda, come on. We need a big squad. Can't lose this game. So let me know. Give us a message. MEFC Realist is saying, Eriksen makes the bench, but sure, but Malacia is mint. Yes, Shaw's our number one. I think he's saying Malacia is mint. Brush is in the house. He's saying like and subscribe. Thank you, Brush. 40 isn't a barrier. Give it a go, says Jackie. MEFC Realist is saying bounce back 4-1. Talking about the prediction. I wonder who Erik Ten Hag would buy if he started from scratch with Qatar money. Who would he get to sub bids? And Casper, you're in goal, bro. 45 minutes. You got it.
I want to play outfield, man. I want to play outfield.
Are you like one of these Edison guys who's like great goalkeeper? Like Casper, I mean, come on, what are you like? Are you one of these goalkeepers who can play distribute the ball, who's a sort of frustrated player, number 10? Is that you?
No. I've played in goal pretty much all my life, and I'm happy between the sticks. In all fairness, I don't like going outfield.
Tom to come down, I'll go outfield, man.
Okay, we're a bit of rotation, guys. Quickly about Everton, we know that Doucouré's injured. What do you think about? Not injured, he's suspended. What do you think about that with Harry Kane incident? Any thoughts, guys?
Well, asking me as a ref, I think it's you can't hit a man. Simple as. Even I know maybe there wasn't. It's hard. I'm going to defend the ref because I think the right decision was made. You slapped him. Like you're not meant to. You can't touch a guy's face. So excessive force. I don't know. Maybe there was I don't think there was excessive force used. However, you slap the guy, you can't be doing that. You can't be putting your hands like that's normally the rule. Like shoulders above, it's a straight red, no matter what.
All right, so that's the referees union saying that, and also a player. You two are players as well, Colin and Zico. What do you think? Because that wasn't for me. That's not enough. Not excessive force for the man to go down. It's a bit like DiCadio pushing the ref, with the ref taking a tumble. It was nothing in it, but Kane sold that one like a wrestling, like it's WrestleMania. Now, what do you think? Casper, the referee, said it's a red card. What do you guys think? Come on, quickly, drop this one.
I think it's a bit of a joke, personally. I've been sent off for doing it myself, not so long ago. I got sent off for doing it. Went out and collected the ball. Somebody left a studs in on me, so hands got it, face to push them away, straight red. It's the laws. It's the rules of the game. You just got to deal with it, haven't you?
Kahinde, last word on the Doucouré missing 3-game ban for putting his hand out. You've done this many a time. I've seen it.
To be honest, I didn't see it. Like Arsene Wenger would say, I didn't see it.
All right.
Yeah, we'll move on.
We're moving on. Press conference today by the manager. This is for the Everton game. I'm going to read out a few quotes. Just a quick discussion about this, guys. Regarding Shaw, he said, he's not available. We have to see how he progresses in the coming week. So that's ruled out completely. Shaw is out. I think we discussed that mainly about him and Malacia coming in. Regarding Eriksen, he said, it was not for nothing. I was so angry about that tackle, talking about Andy Carroll. Now, do you think that was a red card, Casper? Quickly, with the Andy Carroll on Eriksen, took him out for a few months?
It was in January, wasn't it? It was an FA Cup game. I don't really remember the challenge, it caused a lot of uproar. But I think, from what I remember, he clipped him at the ankle from the back. So I can't comment because I need to see it again. So
fair enough. And he's also saying it was a really bad tackle and a bad injury. I thought we lost him for the whole season. He's ahead of schedule, and we are very happy about that. He's progressing. He's now back in team training. So Thursday and Fridays, 2 sessions he's had. He will be back in the squad. So that's great news. Before I'm going to come back to that one about Eriksen, and this is a quote from the manager as well. This is a warning. He says, you have to do it in every game. That's the standard you have to have. It's down to responsibility. You have to deliver when you're playing for Manchester United Football Club. You have to be accountable. We talk about the players here. Have to be accountable. It's about demands. We have to make standards. It's about culture. You have to always do it. Always be on it for Manchester United. For a player who is at the top and competing for trophies, you have to do it always and be consistent. It's our job to bring that mentality. That's great words again for the manager. He never fails me when it comes to press conferences, does he? So your thoughts, guys, on Eriksen coming back. He said he's back in the squad. We talked about Casemiro earlier, Colin, and what a miss he has been. But what about Eriksen? I mean, look, we're coming to the final third of the season now. How much of a miss has he been, and what does he offer as a player? And how do you feel about him coming back? Can he get back in the side?
I mean, for me, he'd walk straight back inside. He'd walk straight back inside tomorrow for me if he was 100% fit. I think he's a very underrated Manchester United player. He seems to be like the key for us in the midfield, as in like unlocking the doors. Because if we look at clear-cut chances over the last couple of games, there haven't been many. Whereas if you looked at it when Eriksen was in the side, you got 4 or 5 a game with Eriksen in the side, just because he's that clinical and he's always 2-3 steps ahead. He's already knows where the runner is, where he's going to play the ball, where the defenders are. He knows everything before the ball's even at his foot. So he's going to massively boost us in the midfield.
I mean, Zico Kehinde, would you risk him? I think with Martial, he's been fit, but he hasn't really risked him. How would you consider sort of with Eriksen bringing him back? Because it seemed like a serious injury. Obviously, it was because he was out for ages. But what would you sort of like put him in cotton wool and sort of slowly bring him back into the side, even though we need to win these games? It's so important.
Yeah, you have to. You have to slowly bring him back in because it was quite a serious injury. I didn't think he'll come back before the end of the season. I thought maybe next season he'll come back. So I'll just bred in him slowly. But obviously we have missed his quality just in terms of like creativity. I'm sure Rashford's missed him as well. It's just he could just pick out a pass just like that. So I'm looking forward to seeing him come back because when he's not been there, who have we had as the number 8, Fred? He's not going to be that kind of creative guy. So we need that ball retention again, and someone who could just that midfield of Casemiro and Eriksen when they're together, they just manage the game really well.
Casper, is there a concern that like with players like Bruno can't be replicated, and Eriksen, do you think he's a player as well that also can't be replicated? The way he sort of dictates the play and the tempo of the team. We've been a big void for Man United. What do you think?
Yes, that's 100%. So, like players like him, the experience he's got, 5-time Champions League winner, you can't. But there's only few players in the world with his experience like that. He knows what he's doing on the pitch. He's the price. People saying at the beginning, people saying the price tag's high. They don't think it's Man United.
You're talking Casemiro.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Throw in Eriksen as well. Yeah.
You're talking about. Sorry. Yeah, you can deal talking about Casemiro. So I thought you were talking about Eric. Now with Eric, Eriksen's another player. He's got the experience, of course, with what he's done with Tottenham. He was Tottenham's best player alongside Harry Kane and Son. So he's, what he's achieved. Also, obviously, he's not won a trophy at Spurs, but he's still on an international level and club level with Inter. He's a very good player. He knows what he's doing. He's one of them top players that knows what they're doing with the experience they've got. And these players are very valuable at Manchester United. I understand the point that he can't be replicated, but at the same time, Manchester United need to also be signing players that can replicate Eriksen. Just like what Man City have got. They've got Grealish is out. We'll put Bernardo. We'll put Riyad Mahrez. So they've got these players, but I understand players don't want to. I understand players like Raheem Sterling who are there that don't want to do that.
Just going to go to some comments, some really good comments about Eriksen, because we talk about the void that he's had since from the injury and how important he is to us. So some vids are saying Eriksen a comeback king. As you know, he was like half dead during the Euros, wasn't he? That was something I've never thought. Look, to this day, I've seen him play football after what we witnessed that day. It's just amazing to me. And every time go on.
You know what? So last year, I was a ball boy at Watford, if you don't know, last season. And I remember when Watford played Brentford, and I was one of the ball boys for Watford. And I was at the corner flag next to the away fans. And every time I'm looking, I'm like literally I'm arm length away from Eriksen. I'm thinking like, I can't believe I'm next to him, like because of what happened during the Euros. And then I'm also looking at every ball he's putting into the box when he was at Brentford. Every ball was going to a player. Like he is in, like his technique is generally the best in the league, in my opinion. Like he is unreal. He is unreal. Like, and to experience firsthand, not even from first row, from like closer than the advertising board, it was like something. I was like, I was a ball boy for Watford for like a lot of games, Arsenal games where I was near Saka, and the player that made the biggest impact for me was Eriksen when he was at Brentford. The way he was playing.
Wow. That's what sort of made us sign him, innit, Colin, when he played for Brentford against us. He had a sort of bossed the game. Let's just go through a few comments here. So the comeback king, obviously returned from the dead, like the Undertaker. He's back. Bath time with Vaughan. How you doing, man? He said Eriksen will be a bigger positive, big positive coming back. Bigger positive coming back, more so than Casemiro, he's saying here. Because of the way he plays, I imagine. Alongside Shaw and Martinez, he's the only guy that keeps the ball. Casemiro just boots it around like a deep lion Bruno. Jackie is saying, glad we got Eriksen back. So needed. The balance of midfield would be so much better. So these guys are agreeing with you lot on the panel. Bart says Eriksen shouldn't be rushed. Ideally, Erik ten Hag should give him half an hour or so to let him find his feet and his rhythm again. Really surprised that Zanik Bell hasn't got a look in yet. I'm with you on that. I want to say hi to Santa Notch. You know who that is. Big up Notch. How you doing, man? Notch, go and check out Stretford Praddock. When they do a live watch along, Notch does the most brilliant predictions. And hopefully you can give us a prediction today, Notch, later on in the show. But he's saying we've massively missed Eriksen and his creativity and speed of ball progression. Still rather ease him in off the bench tomorrow, though, rather than rushing back. Ed Mayhem saying Eriksen probably the most underrated player this season, in his opinion. Bart saying Eriksen's footballing IQ is on another level as he's playing as an 8 for United, despite being a 10. Santa Notch again is saying also miss Eriksen's quality on corners and dead balls. That's true. And Jackie said Eriksen has such great vision, creativity, always has the ball idea, super intelligent player. Yeah. So there you go, guys. You can see the miss that Eriksen's been for us. Eriksen and plus McTominay versus Fred versus Casemiro. I mean, those are two combinations we could be playing. You're nodding there, Colin. Which one would you go with?
I'd rather go with Fred and Casemiro because everybody knows I'm not a massive fan of McTominay at all. I'd rather have Eriksen and Casemiro, like.
Yeah.
Bart saying here his ideal midfield would be Casemiro with Enzo or Bruno Ramirez from Newcastle. He's also saying here Man United still need two midfielders. One must be a ball playing centre midfielder. The other must be a CDM. They also must need a goalkeeper, two strikers, and a right back. I know we've been linked with Fring Fong recently. Bart saying if Everton go down, United should try and get Onana. And he's a big, strong driving midfield, isn't he? Very
and
good.
Idrissa Gana Gay.
Say?
And Idrissa Gana Gay.
He's a bit old now, isn't he?
He's in his 30s.
Yeah, good player.
Casemiro is also old. Look at him.
Don't forget Everton got James Garner still. He played the last 5 minutes of the last game that I had against Spurs.
Yeah. Well, I think actually he could. I think he could actually start tomorrow because with Doucouré being out, there's going to be between James Garner and Tom Davis. So
still
we're talking about
big mistake us selling him.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I'd loan him, not sell him.
I haven't missed him. Since you mentioned his name now, I forgot all about him. I even forgot who he's playing for now. Well, last season I was like, yeah, bring him in and give him a game. But Garner's forgotten man for me, especially since Casemiro and Eriksen's been playing so well this season. Anyway, guys, drum roll, please. 16 in the comments. Make sure you press the like button because guess what? It's solo 11. I say solo. It should be solos, plural 11. But yeah, we're going to go with it now. Drum roll, please. Colin, if you don't mind, fling up the team and let's discuss what Solo's put together here. All right, there you go. Let's start with the back four. Go to the defensive guy here, Kehinde. What do you think about his back four, please? Would you go with this?
That still picks itself, really, to be honest. I mean, if Shaw's not available, Malacia's got to play. I don't really mind who plays out of Delo and Wan-Bissaka, to be honest. Like, I think they've both been putting in pretty decent performances. Like, I don't think any one of them has been too outstanding. So I don't mind who it plays out of them two.
So Solo gets the thumbs up with the defensive lineup there for you. Yeah. All right, Casper, coming to you. The two midfielders. This is a big talking point because obviously we got Casemiro coming back, not available. We got Sabitzer, McTominay, Fred, and maybe Bruno could play in there. We got youngsters as well. How do you feel about Solo's 11 here? Because he's put Fred and Sabitzer.
I disagree with the midfield. I wouldn't start Sabitzer.
So what would you go with then?
I'd go with McTominay. I'd go with, we've got. Well, to be fair, I wouldn't start Sabitzer because I don't think he's flourished at Man United yet. You know, he's I wouldn't say he had negative performances, but he's not been outstanding. He's not put some great performances. You know, McTominay, I understand McTominay is not a fan favorite. McTominay's clumsy, this and that, but I think apart from the Newcastle game, he's got a good run in games recently. You know, the 2 Scotland games, the last game against Brentford. So I'd play McTominay, and I think he'll play tomorrow. I think he'll play tomorrow as well, Scott McTominay.
Because when you were just talking about Onana in midfield for Everton, big strong runner, is that why you say McTominay would be suitable?
Yeah, well, that's another. I didn't even think about that, to be fair, on Monday, but that's another point. I'd keep Scott McTominay. I'd keep Scott McTominay in the starting 11, and I'd give Fred a chance because Fred's not played recently. So I'd give.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Casper, you can't play McTominay and Fred together. This is the problem. You can't play.
Yeah, no, I hear your point, but without
minds individually, but you can't play them together. Like Sabitzer, I agree, he hasn't been outstanding, but he's just keeping things ticking over. He hasn't done anything wrong. For the balance of the team, you got to play McTominay with Sabitzer or Fred with Sabitzer. You can't play McTominay and Fred together because the ball.
Maybe put Bruno deeper. I don't know, but
no, that doesn't work. They tried,
but I wouldn't start Sabitzer. I wouldn't start Sabitzer.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, over to you, Colin. I know you're a goalkeeper, but I want you to do the front 4 now. Obviously, we know someone who's missing who started the other day, Sancho. What do you think about Solo's 11 here, but especially the front 4? Is that the sort of strongest side that we've got available to us? Weghorst as well is not included.
Yeah, no, Weghorst obviously isn't there. I think for more an attacking threat, the choice of Martial is probably the better one there. I mean, we've brought in Weghorst to do a job. And he comes in and bless his heart, he tries. You know, he's a runner. He just lacks that final little bit at the end. So yeah, I'd go with Martial. Obviously, Rashford and Bruno pretty much pick themselves, you know, if they're fit anyway. And as much as I'm an Anthony fanboy, he's been a little bit disappointing for me so far. I want to see the best out of him, but you know, we've got Sancho or Pellistri, you know, like, and Sancho's not in the best of form, so I kind of like wouldn't mind seeing Pellistri come in all fairness, in replace of Anthony.
To replace Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Big talk. All right, guys, we're going to have a quick discussion here. You can see the team. That's Solo's 11 here. Do you want to say here a couple of comments? Rory saying, I agree with that starting 11. And also Ed Mayhem, he's saying, I like the 11, should be capable of winning that game. We didn't mention Wan-Bissaka. Hopefully he's well enough to play. I think he's coming back from injury, isn't he? Or sickness, I think that was. Bart saying here, good 11, guys, but the midfield is going to get overrun by Onana and Doucouré, as Fred Norsabitzer is going to keep the ball well or bring the ball from Martinez and Varane. But we've heard here that Onana's banned and Doucouré is definitely banned, isn't he? So is it Doucouré, you mean, Mr. B, that's banned, or you saying Onana's banned?
I don't think Onana's banned. I think Doucouré is banned. Unless he got a yellow card in the last game and then he's got 5-game ban, 10-game ban, but 5 yellow card or 10 yellow card ban, which is a game or 2 ban.
I think Ghana's going to start.
I don't think.
Okay, there you go. Zico's been defiant with Ghana. All right, let's take away this Solo 11, please, Colin, and let's talk, because let's talk about this thing called Martial. He's back in the side now. Colin, you said you like Weghorst. He's a workhorse. He works hard, does a good job. Kahinde, before the show, you talking about Martial coming back. Let's have a little argument here. Let's bump some heads. Let's have a vote, and let's just have a little summary for each man. Who's at the moment is the best player to play when we need to win the games? Are we going to go stick with Weghorst or we go with Martial? Now, I'm going Martial. I like Weghorst. I thought he's done a good job, but I've seen Martial come back and think, that's what we've been missing. Nice thing. Colin, where you at with that? At the moment, who would you play? Because you just said you get some positives for him.
Yeah, like I said, I like Weghorst. I like the amount of effort he puts in, but Martial brings something completely different. You know, like I said, he's just. I'd pick Martial when we need to win a game. Martial.
So this is going to be unanimous, I sense. Casper, do you agree then? Casper, who are you going for, Martial or Weghorst?
I'm going for Weghorst, man. Weghorst, my guy. I'm sorry. I just really like. You know, I don't really remind of you know how Erik ten Hag plays. He plays with a high press, and I don't think there's been a striker at Man United for a long. If you can remind me, guys, that's played high press for a long time. Like, because he did Ronaldo, that's the reason why Ronaldo got bombed out, because he didn't want to do the high press. He didn't want to work for the team at the front. Weghorst does what he wants. I think Weghorst's been a very good signing because he is something that Erik ten Hag wants. He's not the ideal striker, and obviously there needs to be a striker brought for Man United in the summer. But I think what Weghorst is doing is like he's bringing the positive energy from the front. I'd start him on Saturday only because Martial's still come back from injury. You know, we can't rush him like we don't want to rush him before he gets another injury. Like Martial's got a history of injuries as well, so we don't want to rush him. I'd 100% start Weghorst on Saturday.
But you gave a good summary for that. Kinde, last man standing, is going to make it 3-1 or 2-2. Where are you going, Weghorst or Martial?
I don't know if Martial's fit enough to start. Just the only reason, I mean, talent-wise, you know, Martial's probably a better player, but I just think I would just go with Weghorst because he's been playing more regularly, and I really think that Rashford's form has got a lot to do with Weghorst doing the hard work and opening things up. You know, he's like the Emil Heskey, or you know, like Owen loves playing with
unsung,
Heskey, really unsung, yeah, that sort of thing. So, and especially gets a physical team like Everton, headers and things like that, he might be useful. But
guys, you all made a good argument. At first I was saying no, Martial, but I'm almost turning my head. You guys down a little below.
Yeah, you got that.
No, I'm not. I'm not having it because he's not good with his head, because he doesn't jump or win headers for one. And two, when we saw what happened at Newcastle, because of how slow he is, they camped on our halfway line because they knew the ball weren't going to get over the top and he weren't going to beat them. Martial can get to those balls, so they'll have to drop back further, which gives us more room. I
just think Martial makes more of an impact coming on in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And because I don't know if Weghorst's going to make an impact coming on. I just think I would start Weghorst, and if we need a goal, put Martial on the last.
Right, that's 2-2 on the debate between Martial and Weghorst. Now, not just stir something up here that we have to go into. Let's just discuss this one. Everton are a big team, it says, and they will be aggressive. We know that. So, and Sean Dyche as well, he's got them well drilled at the moment. So it's either McTominay for his size or Fred for his tenacity. Sabitzer has a bit of both. Now, we're going back to that starting 11. Fred and Sabitzer was the starting 11 from Solo. McTominay's size, is that a key factor in this game? Because we just clarified here that it's Doucouré that's banned, not Onana. So it's Onana will be available. But talking here about size, is that something we really have to consider? Or are we worrying too much about Everton? Because we're going to talk about them in a sec. Should we worry about Everton, what they've got? Or should we just go out and play our best team and just try and impose our game on them?
I don't think you could drop McTominay after the last game that he played.
Okay.
The week they had for Scotland and all that. It against Newcastle, they put him out of position. I don't know why Ten Hag played him as a cam. That's why he didn't look good. But the last game that he played, he was really good. So I don't think you could drop him. I would just stick with McTominay and Sabitzer. I think it's a good balance midfield, technique and aggression and strength.
Colin, what's your thoughts on that? Should we think about playing our style of football at home as well? We've got a great home record. Or should we really consider, actually, they're competitive in midfield, as Notch is saying there, and we maybe should play someone to run with these guys, you know? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's a little bit of both, you know. At home, we need to be playing our style of football. You know, that's what wins us games, our style of football. But, you know, you can't take away the factor of, obviously, they are quite a physical team in the midfield. But, I mean, the one thing I only want to say about McTominay is, he's had a good game for Scotland, you know, and stuff like that. This isn't Scotland. This is Manchester United. And 9 times out of 10, when he pulls on that Manchester United shirt, he puts in a 2 out of 10 performance.
Shock horror.
If that was true, he wouldn't be at United.
Exactly.
He's at United because we can't get rid of him because we've got nobody to replace him.
That
was a decent job. He scored 2 goals against Spain. That's
for Scotland.
And the players are
international football and Premier League football's 2 completely different things.
I know. But I just won the last game. If you played well the last game, you don't deserve to be dropped.
Guys, 18 in the comments. If you're enjoying this, I am. These guys are going off. Bart saying about Sabitzer playing in number 10 position. He's done that before. Eriksen, when Eriksen comes back in. But halftime saying, do the Jumers, talk about myself and my brother, always try to match their tops with their sofas. As you see, black and red and red. Good observation. Guys, if Bath Time's on the show, always check out your background, because he will comment. He's not looking at you. He's looking at what you've got in the background in your living room. Jackie's saying here, Weghorst really does try, but she would go for Martial. Brian saying, when Weghorst plays, we are playing with 10 men. Want to say hi to Rebel. He's off. I thought you were off the radar at the moment, where you are all the way down in court. He said, good evening, folks. Got another 1-0 grind written all over it. Want to say hi to Eddie Football Waffle. Make sure you go and subscribe to his wonderful channel. He's saying big up the guys in the chat as well, and big up to the column, Casper and Zico. Did Column just call in a big horse? Says Rebel. He did. Eriksen returns. Yes, hit the like button. Thank you. Emma, where have you been? She's saying, I'd start with the same front line as we did against Brentford. She liked it. Here we go. Bath Time saying, which striker makes us more compact, Omondi? Because that's the forward you want. So which striker makes us more compact as a team? Would it be Weghorst or would that be Martial? I would say Martial, in my opinion. I think, especially in a game that's at home, I would definitely play Martial, because we're talking about being compact. I think he drops in. He might not do the work rate as Weghorst does, but he does hold up the ball brilliantly, just as good in my opinion. He played the ball up to his feet, and people's after 5-10 minutes they start to respect him. You can't dive in and just roll you and just turn out of trouble and pop it off, or that kind of thing. Rebel saying here, Frankie Lampard exceeded the waffle quota of the day earlier, but Barthan saying we need to be extremely worried about the new Dyche press. So how are they going to press us? Week one weakness. Is this still a big issue for you guys about how we play out from the back? Do you think teams are starting to sort of realise we've got an issue with that? Casper, do you want to answer that one about how we bring the ball out?
One of the biggest flaws is playing out from the back and its distribution. So, and it's not as if Man United fans knew that since Ten Hag's come in. They've known that long time ago, like when Mourinho was in charge, when Ragnick was in charge, when Oli was in charge. So we all know that's not the strongest point. And maybe that's why a goalkeeper is in the looks in the summer for Manchester United. Of course, when you're new, when you're trying something new in your first season, playing out the back, then the mistakes will happen. That's no doubt. The game that reminds me that the most mistakes were done was Real Betis, the first game in the first half, especially. I think it was 2 or 3 times the defense lost the ball and Betis had some good chances. But apart from that, what can I say? Like it will take time. It's a process that will take time with playing out from the back. Mistakes will occur 100%. And the reason why these people talk about these mistakes is because they're the most dangerous mistakes, because losing the defense or the goalkeeper or the defensive midfielder losing the ball from playing out the back will cause in a good opportunity for the opposition.
Okay. So Sean Dyche obviously is coming to Everton Football Club from Frank Lampard got sacked. Now, he's a man who's really disciplined, organised, gets his players organised. You've seen he sort of overachieved with Burnley, kept him in the league for so long. Really respected manager. And as Bath Time knows, you go and check out the little YouTube video of Dyche talking about his tactics. It's really interesting the way he talks about it. He's really effective, not an old school kick and punt sort of guy. He's got a lot more to his game than we actually realise. So let's talk about Everton. They're fighting relegation. If we look at the league, there's so many teams fighting right now in relegation zone. Do you think these guys in relegation zone, because we haven't lost, there's a stat that says we haven't lost against someone below the top 12 this season. And we're talking, we lost to Brentford, to Brighton, we lost to Liverpool, Man City. All the teams below the bottom 12, we've been able to beat this season. So what do you think about Everton?
Palace, no?
They're in the top half. They're just on the 12th place, I think. Or Palace are Palace are 12th at the moment.
Okay.
We drew against Palace, didn't we? They got an equaliser.
Yeah, drew. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. So if you look at the league, you've got Palace. This is at 30 points, and then Southampton on last place on 23 points, 7 points. You've got Leeds, Wolves, West Ham, Everton, Forest. In the bottom 3, it's Bournemouth, Leicester, and Southampton. Now, Everton, do you think they've got enough to stay up? And how do you think they'll be going into this game? With a point, obviously, points so valuable right now, aren't they? Do you think how are they going to set up against Manchester United Football Club? Because they are fighting relegation, as the banner says there right now. Colin?
I mean, we've always had a bit of a problem with Sean Dyche at United, the way he sets up his teams. And I don't think it's going to change. I think he'll set up to let United have most of the possession and he'll hit us on counter. I think that's how he's going to set up. You know, he's going to try and hit us quick and hard, get one goal, and then see if he can shut up shop for 90 minutes or however long it's going to be. Because, you know, 1 goal and 3 points to them is massive. You know, they don't really want to get pummeled because I think they've got enough to do it to stay up. But obviously they're not wanting to get pummeled because with how tight it is, it might actually go down to goal difference. And the last thing they want to do is ship, 3-4 goals in. So I think they'll be very defensive tomorrow.
Set pieces is always a good one with these teams down the bottom. They're real organised. Emma Kay saying it. I'm most worried about Everton on corners and free kicks. However, I was nervous about that with Brentford, and we did well against them. Kahinde, what do you think about Everton? How they will set up, especially you've been fighting relegation with your teams you've coached. I don't think you haven't been in that position, have you? But when you what do you do? Sorry. I know you're good.
You tried to do you dirty there, Kahinde. You tried to do you dirty.
What do you do in that situation as a coach? You're in relegation zone and you could go up against a big team. Sometimes this week you get surprising results. So how would you set up if you're Sean Dyche right now? Because Bath Time is talking about their press, the way they're organised, how they press us and all that. How do you see them setting up against us? Because Calvert Llewellyn's out as well. He's their main guy who bangs goals.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like because they've got, like you say, Calvin out and all that. How do they hit on the counter attack? Who are those guys that are gonna hit us on the break? I would just, if I was the Everton boss, I would try and just shut up shop and just try and hit us on the counter attack. But I don't know if they've got the quality at the moment. I think they've got enough quality to survive relegation. They always do. But I don't know if they've got the quality to beat us, really hurt us. Like even the last game, I know Lampard, Dyche wasn't the manager, but they scored the first goal. But it's just like they don't really have that quality to really hurt you afterwards. The players that they've got good experienced players like the centre backs, Michael Keane, Connor Cody, Pickford as the keeper. So I think the experience will get them survive the Premier League, but I don't know about beating us tomorrow. At best, they get at best. So that's if we're not.
I think individually, man, Everton got some world-class players in there. You've got
I wouldn't say world-class.
No. I would say they've got like Jordan Pickford.
Yeah.
You've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, especially. Okay, now he's off form, but when he hits his form, he's a world-class striker, isn't he? So they've got some world-class. They've got Alex Iwobi, who's been hitting it off this season, especially under Frank Lampard. So individually, mate, they've got a couple of world-class players and players that are good enough for the Premier League. You've got Connor Cody, you've got James Tarkowski, you've got Michael Keane, you've got Nathan Patterson, who I'm telling you right now, Nathan Patterson will be one of the best right backs in the world in the future. I really highly rate Nathan Patterson, and maybe because he's also from Glasgow Rangers, hasn't he also come? So, and they tend to produce good players recently. So from the academy, so so they've got some good individually. They've got some good players, but in the recent years, especially since Ancelotti left, they don't really tend to play as a team. If you understand where I'm coming from, because individually, let's take Everton and let's take West Ham, let's take Nottingham Forest, Southampton, individually, position by position, out maybe 7-8 positions, players right now, you're going to say that Everton's got the better players than the rest of the 8 relegation teams fighting. That's most of our opinion. Like they've got very good individual players, but their problem is maybe playing from a team. That's why maybe Sean Dyche has come in, because he got Burnley to come in. He came into Burnley and he got average players and he made them into a team. So maybe he's got maybe a different job now. He's got maybe higher echelon players. So now his job is to get them as a team. So that's how I see it. Maybe
you're right, because I feel like the reason why they haven't been consistent is because every time I see them, their lineup, it's always something different. They've always got a player injured or suspended or whatever. So you can never say, "Oh, this is the midfield that's going to play for Everton." It's always something different. Even the centre backs, I haven't seen Cody and Keane play together that much. Have they good trial?
Yeah, Cody's been dropped now. I know he scored against Arsenal, the header, but the recent back line is
Seamus Coleman's still playing at the right back at the moment, even though the
Good player. I've seen him.
I think he's playing because Nathan Patterson's coming back from an injury. But I think Nathan Patterson's
and the
starting.
last one is James Garner, who's been out for most of the season. He played the first game on the one side, so they haven't really had that consistent team that identify these guys are going to play every time. So I think probably why they struggled.
Guys, just the last one here from the comments. Bath Times, what we're trying to get at was Bath Times saying against Spurs, it's Everton and Arsenal, Dyche went with a hard press. I expect that from them again until we can prove that we can play it out from the back. So that's what we're going to be looking out for tomorrow in the morning, 12:30 kickoff. How are they going to press us? How can we beat that press? And can we come through that? Because they're obviously going to be very organised. Anyway, guys, we're moving on now. Everton, I think they're a good side. I think they will just about stay up based on what we see in the league right now. Prediction time, guys. Get your predictions into the comments. I'm going to say, let me just read something out for you before you give your predictions. Everton have drawn their last 3 visits at Old Trafford. You listening, guys? They've drawn their last 3 games at Old Trafford. They've won only once, though, in 29 fixtures at Old Trafford. And that was a 1-0 win in 2013. So their record at Old Trafford in the Premiership is 20 losses, 8 draws, and no wins. Oh, sorry, 1 win. And Man United
that's in the league, no, because they lost 3-1 in the cup.
Oh, no, this is the Prem League.
Yeah, Prem, yeah.
So Man United have lost just 1 of 23 home games. There's 115, lost 7, and the last time we lost was at Brighton. We drawn 7, sorry, 115, drawn 7, and we lost at Brighton. That was 2-1 in August. All right, prediction time. I'm going for a 3-0 win at home. I think we got to turn it up. We got players, when they see players like Eriksen coming back in training, they know Casemiro's coming back, people have to step it up. Our home record's been brilliant. I think Everton will have to concede. We've got more quality in them, and hopefully our home record will prove once again that we're good, and we can say to the other teams in the league, there's our 3 points. We've done early. We can close up shop and wait for Seville on Thursday. I'm saying 3-0 Man United. We can do them. Colin, prediction time, please.
Hart wants to say 4-0, but the head is what I'm going to go with, and I'm going to say 1-0 because it's going to be a very difficult game.
And Casper, do you want to give us a prediction?
Yeah, I agree. 1-0. 1-0, I agree. I just think Manchester United recently in the league aren't consistent, especially since the Liverpool game. So only won 1 in the last 4 in the league. So I think and Everton are a good side. They're unbeaten in 4 currently. Drew twice to like, teams that are better than them on paper. So I'm expecting them to come compact to Old Trafford, set up by Sean Dyche. How Sean Dyche normally sets up teams. I'm expecting 1-0 to Man United.
Kahinde, final one for you. What's the score? You're a better man.
2-1 or 2-0.
2-1, 2-0. All right, let's go.
2-1.
HG Gamer is saying 2-0 to Man United. Vincent, how you doing, Vincent? Saying 4-0. We've got a 5-0 clean sheet from HG Gamer again. 3-1 for Ed Mayhem. 3-0, same as me, said from Mr. B. And by the way, there's no Friday night takeaway today. It's Good Friday. We need a day off. Notch is saying 2-1. More info to come in this video tomorrow. Go check out Notch, please, on the watch along for Stretford Paddock. And then once you've watched Notch and myself, go and tune into the Man United agenda to watch along. We've got some new graphics maybe tomorrow. And 3-0 from Brian Fawcett. Any more coming in? No, we don't see them. Oh, we've got one here. No, Monday bigging up Everton. 3-0 United. Yes, we are bigging up Everton. And final one here said we'll win, but Gray will come with a beauty goal. Gray's enigma, isn't he? He's sort of a player, always so talented, but never seems to step it up and deliver consistently. Colin, last word, please.
Well, just got to keep with the guys, back the manager, whatever he picks, get behind the lads, and I think we'll, do the stuff that we need to do on the pitch.
Brilliant. Casper, Casper, last word. Are you reffing at the weekend? You got any games?
Good Friday, good Easter Sunday.
Oh, so you called off. You're resting like us. Kinde, last word. Confident?
Confident we'll win. We just got to keep consistent, get the wins the game that we should, and we get top 4.
Okay, brilliant. Don't forget to watch along tomorrow, guys. Don't forget to watch Stretford Paddock as well. See Notch for his prediction early on the show, an hour before it starts, the kickoff, and you'll check them out. Okay. Guys in the comments, thank you. Appreciate you guys tuning in again. We'll be back soon. That'll be tomorrow at 12:30. No Friday night takeaway today. And Good Friday to everyone. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend. Let's get the win, and we can sit back and drink our wine and put our feet up and say over to you guys. We're out. Thank you very much. Good night.